All right, let's talk about how to hold the clarinet and where your fingers go. It's a very important thing because there's all these keys all over this thing and it's kind of hard to know where exactly your fingers go. So first, let's talk about my left hand, okay? And with either hand, you want to make sure your hands look relaxed. If you just had a really relaxed hand like this, like I was holding a ball, right? This is a dog ball, unused, so slobber free. Right? This is for my dog, but we haven't given it to her yet. So if I was just holding a ball, or maybe a tennis ball, or a baseball, or something like that, and then took the ball out, that's kind of a normal looking relaxed hand. If I shook my hand out and just let it relax, it's kind of in that shape. We don't want our hand to look like this, or like this, or like this, or do something strange when we're playing. So, same thing with the right hand, but we're going to get there in a second. Let's talk about my left hand. First and foremost, it's pretty actually easy. Your thumb, you can see on the back, there's only one little hole, and your thumb covers up that hole like this, okay? You don't want your thumb way up here pushing on that. We'll get to that later. That's called the register key. But you want your thumb kind of a little bit at an angle, and later, when we're going to use that key, you're going to just rock to it. You don't want your thumb way down here. And you don't want your thumb resting down here. You never want to set your thumb resting right here. Your thumb is either covering that hole or it's just hovering right above it or below it, depending on how you think about it. So that's your thumb on your left hand. Again, your left hand is on top. A lot of people go, well, I'm right-handed, so I want the right hand on top. No, that's wrong. That's not right. And the reason why is because there's these pinky keys. And if you were using your right hand, you can't reach over and get those pinky keys. Same thing on the bottom hand. Has to be your right hand because there's pinky keys. If I had my left hand on the bottom, I can't reach across and use those pinky keys. So you got to make sure it's left hand on top. Thumb covering that back hole. And then you'll see 3 holes. One right there that has a little metal ring around it. Another one right there for your second finger. Little metal ring. And then the third one doesn't have a little metal ring. It's just a hole by itself. And a nice relaxed hand. Right? You don't want to have, you don't want to go like this. And you don't want to be doing your fingertips. Let's talk about how to cover up that hole. You want to use your fingerprints. The prints of your fingers. Right? Fingerprint. Not fingertips. Okay? And the best way to do that is when you're holding your left hand in place, you got it nice and relaxed. If you push your fingers down kind of hard, and then you lift up and look at them, you should see little holes, right? Full circles. It's hard to kind of tell on this, but full circles. They should look like little Cheerios, not half-bitten Cheerios, but I'm pressing, and I should see full circles. If I don't have full circles, then that means I didn't cover the hole all the way, and there would be air leaking out of the instrument, and that would cause the notes to squeak or just not happen very well, right? It wouldn't sound good. So you want to cover those holes perfectly all the way, and you do that with your fingerprints. If I use my fingertips, that's not as much space to cover the hole, so you got to use your fingerprints to cover those holes. Okay? And then left hand is just nice and relaxed. Not tight, just loose, relaxed, nice curved fingers. The next thing is the right hand. And I like to give 3 options for the right hand for beginners. And 2 of the options you're only going to use for a little bit, not very long. And then you're going to transition to the third option, which is the correct way to hold it. Okay, so the first thing you do, I'll teach you option 1. This little thing is a thumb rest. Looks like that. I have a little pad on mine because sometimes your thumb gets a little sore. This is actually just a pencil grip that I cut and placed right here. You can buy actual thumb pads for them. And that just helps your thumb. It's like a little cushion. Over time it can help. But, you know, some people don't like them. Some people do. So your thumb goes right under there. Okay? Well, for option 1 that I'm going to give you, I'm just going to let you grab that sucker with your hand like this. Okay? And that works because our first 5 notes only use the left hand. So if you're just going to grab it like this, when I'm playing, I can hold it like that. And the reason I like that is because you get a really good firm hold, and it helps you really kind of push the mouthpiece up into your teeth, which we'll talk about that later. But you really want a lot of firm pressure with the mouthpiece going up against your front teeth. And that helps you kind of have a good grip to learn that in the beginning. You'll never see a professional playing like this. It's just for beginners. Okay, it's like training wheels on your bike. You wouldn't want to see me riding with training wheels. You'd think that guy's crazy. There's something up with him. Why is a 30-something-year-old using training wheels? That's weird. Okay, so that's option 1. Hold it like this. Okay, option 2 is actually holding it on the barrel. And that's kind of weird because it gets your right hand above your left hand, which isn't normal. But you can kind of do that. You can hold the barrel. And that allows you, again, to get good pressure against the top teeth. It allows you to feel in your face what it should feel like with that good pressure. And that's a good way too. Sorry. Don't mind my squeaks, okay? And so that's the second option. Now the third option is the real way to hold the clarinet, the actual way professionals do it. And we got to talk about it so you don't have any bad habits. Okay, let's talk about our right hand the correct way. We would put our thumb under this thumb rest. I'll take this little thingy off so it looks like yours. And let's talk about where our thumb is going to be. A lot of students want to put their thumb way over here, like this. And the reason why is because it's a little easier to hold it. It makes it more stable. It feels a little easier. It feels a little better. But that's not a good thing, because if you look on the other side of the clarinet, if I have my thumb way over like that, I have to use my fingertips to cover those holes. And we talked about earlier, it's better to use your fingerprints. So in order to use your fingerprints to cover the holes, you want your thumb to look like this. And really what you want is that thumb rest, kind of, you know, you have the end of your finger and then you have this knuckle. You want it halfway in between, kind of above your nail. Kind of right above your nail. And that's where your clarinet rests. You can actually hold your instrument just with the right hand like that. And you might feel some pressure, it pulling down on your thumb, and it'll be uncomfortable for a while, but you'll get used to it. Your thumb will develop strong muscles and you'll be able to do it. So, holding our clarinet, remember, nice round fingers. If I went like this, I could kind of like look like I was looking through a telescope. Kind of, right? You want to be able to see. You're not ever going to hold your clarinet like that, but you want to nice rounded hands, relaxed. You don't want to be tense. And let's talk about one last big no-no with our right hand. All these side keys right here, some people think, oh, that's a nice spot to just shove my hand up there and I can rest the clarinet there. No, bad idea, right? Because the reason you don't do that, one, look at what my hand looks like now. Really unnatural shape. It doesn't look good. Two, it doesn't allow me to push the fingers down correctly over the holes. So make sure you're not shoving your right hand under that. And you got nice rounded hands. And that's how you hold your clarinet. Okay? Just like this. Pinkies hover over those keys. Whenever you lift your fingers up, don't lift them sky high. You just want to lift them a little bit. They're just hovering over those keys. All right.